Back with the Fox News Alert, and this is new to all of us. The October job reports just released. It shows the U.S. added only 12,000 jobs last month. That's about 100,000 fewer than economists expected. That's unbelievable. And the unemployment rate held at a steady 4.1%. All right, think about that for a moment, Steve, as I toss over to you.
Bad numbers. All right. Thank you very much, Brian.
It's a massive drop, of course, from what we saw in September. That number was also revised lower, down to 223,000 jobs. In fact, what we lost was over 110,000 jobs over August and September. So
I give you the rest of the numbers and let y'all discuss this. 4.1% is the rate. 4.1%. That came in as expected. Private sector jobs, negative 28,000. Negative. Okay, we were looking for 90,000 added. Negative 28,000 on private. Factory jobs, a loss of 46,000 jobs. Government jobs, we added 40,000 government jobs.
Well, you know, when you factor in these job revisions, which were down over the last 2 months by roughly 110,000, what it should say on the screen, it says 12K jobs added in October. That's true, but what this means is that we have 100,000 fewer jobs than we thought we had. That's a really bad number. When you're looking at a situation, to add to what John Lowsky was talking about, where we are running nearly $2 trillion deficits, and the government is the fastest growing sector of our economy, we've got something structurally really wrong with this economy. We cannot continue down this path. There is no plan out of the Kamala Harris plan. I've looked at her plan. There's no plan to cut government spending. They keep adding more and more workers, and I'm sorry, we're growing the economy in all the wrong places. And by the way, I'd love to hear what the numbers were for construction, manufacturing, business services, the things where people actually make things in the economy, because those are not growing at all. This is the worst jobs number we've had, Maria, in 3 years.
The inflation is where specifically? I know you've talked so much about food and shelter being two major issues, but walk us through where you see the biggest issues for the American people right now, because you're talking about the essentials, Cheryl, right? I mean, this is what? Food, energy, and shelter.
Gas, groceries, and also eating out at restaurants. Restaurant prices, from a food perspective, have also jumped higher across the country, and that also affects American families and the psyche as we go into, obviously, an election on Tuesday. But, you know, egg prices are up 160%.
Wow.
Under the Biden-Harris administration. I mean, eggs is such a big staple of the American diet.
Absolutely.
and the kitchen. Ground beef prices are up 30% under this administration. Bread has jumped 24% under this administration. Cereal 22%. Produce 14.5%.
Good
Maria, one other one is housing, mortgage payments. You know how much those are up? 97% over the last 4 years. In other words, the average monthly mortgage payment on a new home has almost doubled in terms of what you have to pay. No wonder we have a situation where young people can't afford to buy a home. It's twice as expensive.
12,000 jobs, that's a pretty big slowdown.
Well, as you noted, there were a couple of anomalies in the prior months, but the overall picture of the economy remains strong.
Yeah, we got the downward revision in September. Cheryl, you've got other revisions as well.
So, yeah, August revision is 81,000.
81, yeah.
81,000. So if you combine, and Maria, you mentioned the 31,000 for September. So if you combine that, that's 112,000 fewer jobs that were added between August and September, yes.
Okay, so you got another 112,000 fewer jobs.
Correct.
So these revisions are not doing anything for this storyline that everything's so great.
Yes, the big jobs report, and the prophecy came true. Jobs light, 12,000 in non-farm payroll. That is the lightest going back to December of 2020.